Today I'm going to be showing how to replace the screen in a Sony Vaio VPCCW290X model. And this right here is my fiance's pretty pink Sony Vaio. So, this first step that I'm actually going to show you is what tools you're actually going to need. And all you're going to need are these two. One is a flathead, if you can see that or not. Very small flathead. The other one, Phillips, very small. So the first step will be to actually close this and remove the battery. The next step of this process is to actually go and open the screen now. There are 4 screws in this model that hold the plastic on. There's one here under the rubber nub, here, down here, down here, all under the 4 rubber nubs. So what you're going to do is just take the same flathead little mini screwdriver you got and just kind of pop the nubs off. So kind of get under there. So I pop those 4 off. Now you can see the screws are visible. Next thing you're going to want to do is take your Phillips and just easily unscrew all 4. Which is what I'll do now. And I do recommend getting some sort of bowl or something to put these in. These screws are very tiny. You don't want to lose any of them. And if you think these screws are tiny, the 4 holding the actual screen inside of this plastic, which we'll get to in a minute, is even tinier. So now that all 4 screws are off, you're going to take your flathead again, and you're just going to stick it between the back panel and the plastic up here. Lightly kind of pry them apart. Okay, got it. Alright, so the next part's the easier parts. 4 more screws. Again, top corners, bottom corners. Alright, so now that the screws are out, simply just kind of pull back right up in the center carefully, and there's just one wire right here. Alright, so there's just one wire that holds the screen on right here. So all you're going to do is there's a piece of tape on here. You're going to peel off the back of the screen. And you just probably want to use packing tape to put that back on when you're putting the new one on. And you just kind of easily pull this out. As you see, there's a metal piece right here with some ribbon around it, a silver ribbon. It's just easily kind of popped out of there. Now, there is the old dead screen. New screen out of here. New screen still with the plastic on it. Purchased the screen from laptopscreen.com. We'll see how it works, but so far everything looks good. Purchased it a few days ago, got it within 2 days. Cheapest post office shipping. 2 days. They even put $100 of insurance on it. Screen also came with 3-year warranty, so highly recommend going with them. Alright. So with the new screen, I'd recommend maybe placing something over your keyboard so you're not setting the keyboard down directly on the keys themselves, just because the screen is new. To put the wire back in, you're going to pretty much just do everything in reverse. Once the wire's in, you're going to want to take a little piece of Scotch packing tape and kind of just place it right over this, just like the other one was, to hold it in place. Now you're going to just lift it carefully back up, place it over those holes. You'll notice at the top there is a small pink piece of plastic. On mine anyway, it's pink. Yours will probably whatever color your screen your case is. Little tiny piece of plastic right next to the screw hole. So right there, tiny piece of pink plastic that just kind of holds it in. There's one on both the top. The screen looks like it fits okay here though. And now we're just gonna do everything else in reverse. Get the screws. Remember, the ones inside the case, inside that actually hold the screen on, are much smaller than the ones on the outside. There we go. And now, I'll put the casing back on. And this should be much easier than taking it off. All you gotta do is kind of squeeze back together until you hear them all the clips pop back in place. Kind of go around it, make sure that it's completely flush like it is. You see that there's no gaps. Looks good. Close it, make sure that it's all sealed there. It's not, so there's a few gaps still at the very bottom. Bottom is going to be, again, the hardest. I think that is everything. Yep, looks like it's closed now. So last, we are going to put in these final 4 screws. Last, we're just going to put on the little rubber nubs. Your nub should still be sticky with the original factory glue, but if not, I'm sure you can just find some cheap glue that you can put on very, very lightly. I wouldn't recommend doing too much. You don't want it seeping into the screen or clogging up the screws in case you ever needed to get back in again. Alright, last, I'm put on the battery. There we go. Battery is on. I'm not sure how much power it has, so I might need to plug it in. See that? But looks like it's back on. So we are all set. That's all you do. Very simple. 8 screws, 1 wire later. Brand new screen that works like magic.